It's time for an epic down south card as Fury FC makes our New Orleans debut with Fury FC 65 Miller versus Weems for the bantamweight title on UFC Fight Pass. But first, we get started with a stacked prelim card featuring our brightest up-and-coming Fury fighters from the area, live from the Alario Center here in New Orleans. It's time for these fighters to unleash the Fury and welcome in. I'm Rahil Ramzanali, joined by the black belt himself, Michael Alexander. Alex Morano is out on assignment. And as I mentioned, it's an exciting title fight Sunday here in New Orleans, but we're going to get started with a lot of good local talent.
Yeah, Fury is delivering again. Another absolutely magnificent card from beginning to end, and a lot of EUXs on this card.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to go inside to the third member of our broadcast team, a man who's never said no to a beignet. Here is Wayne Legault.
We are live from the Alario Center just outside of New Orleans. This is Fury FC 65, Weems versus Miller. But first, please welcome to the blue corner for your opening contest, Gilberto Melara.
Yeah, what a way to get us going. Thank you, Wayne. Gilberto Melara. Man, 1-1 in 2022 so far. A really exciting amateur to watch out for. By the way, our first 3 fights here are going to be by amateur rules. We got 3 AMI fights going, and Gilberto Melara, first fighter out. Gotta get those nerves out the way right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Gilberto Melara, you can see it in the mustache.
Love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing this. These amateurs, we say it all the time, Rahil. Sometimes these are the most exciting fights. These guys really have something to prove. And at 2-2, he wants to get that record back on the top side.
Fighting out of Garland, Texas, the Samurai.
One in the ring right now.
Let's go inside to Wayne and meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Riles.
You can kind of hear the cheer in the background as we get going for our first fight, but Riles is one I've circled. We were talking about this card on the drive over, Michael. Riles, one of the most decorated wrestlers in the history of the city of New Orleans. Fighting out of Brother Martin. I believe he only had 1 loss. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, that's Mo Miller numbers. I mean, those are high accolades for high school wrestling. And then you see on there, Rahil, Nola BJJ West Bank. That's right down the street from here. His gym less than 5 miles from this arena, so a lot of screams whenever he comes out.
He's a guy who's so much potential, so much excitement around him, around the city, as you mentioned, Nola BJJ West Bank. But he's just a guy that, when you look at him, the 25-year-old Riles, 5'8", 68 inches on the reach, but it's all about that wrestling. Gilberto Melara with the 2-inch reach advantage, 1 inch on the height, and the 21-year-old Melara, the younger of the 2, but this wrestling, I'm excited to watch him. But first, before we get to that, let's introduce these fighters officially. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest, brought to you by Space City Collective, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series at a catchweight of 150 pounds. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Sitting 5 feet 9 inches tall, he weighed in at 144 pounds. Fighting out of Garland, Texas, he holds an amateur record of 2 wins, 2 losses. This is Gilberto Melara. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in at 150 pounds. Fighting out of New Orleans, Louisiana, he holds an amateur record, 4 wins, 1 loss. This is Muharib Riles. Your referee in charge of the action, Nick Sherlock.
Final instructions here. Nick Sherlock. Red gloves for Yaya, blue for Gilberto.
Yeah, about what we expected right away. Riles going to go in there and try to take this fight to the ground. Trying to duck under those punches. Finally gets to the ground. Is able to get his back pretty quick. Has both hooks in. Lars in a lot of trouble here.
can see those hooks are in deep and strong, Michael.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Whenever you have a wrestler, a savvy wrestler on your back like that with the hooks in, especially when he's doling out punishment like this, it's going to be really, really difficult to get him off. He's going, if he didn't have his ankles crossed here, he would be able to. He's got it under the neck now. This was not going to last much longer.
See how much Nick Sherlock is going to allow here in this amateur bout. A good turn there by Gilberto to escape it.
Yeah, Melara does a good job of facing his opponent, but unfortunately now he's facing his opponent.
Yep.
Almost able to shake him off the back there. He's got one hook out. Very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, very close to being an illegal kick there. Yeah, Riles wanting to take this immediately to the ground. He wants no part of this stand-up game. Ooh, had to be careful there. Almost ran right into a flying knee. Ended up on top, but good spot for Yaya Riles. You hear the crowd now starting to scream out Yaya. He's in a mount now. In good triangle position here. I don't know exactly what he was going for there. It looked like he might have tried to switch to an armbar, but was way out of position
on the
for that.
opposite side too, yeah.
He was way out of position for that. Had the opposite arm isolated, but kind of fell down to his butt over his shoulder.
For Yaya, now 4th fight in his amateur career. And of course, he's so comfortable with his wrestling as an amateur. Michael, do you start relying back onto your wrestling, or do you try working on other stuff knowing it's amateurs?
Man, I think no matter how long your career goes, or 40 fights, if you can wrestle your opponents to the ground and beat them up on the ground, I think that's exactly what most wrestlers want to do.
Should have phrased it better. Say, should they work on other things while they're in there for this cage time?
Yeah, I mean, the wrestling is going to come so natural that he does. I mean, it's obvious he needs to work on his striking. He is striking just to set up takedowns, so he's not really effective in his striking yet. But that doesn't mean he won't come. Whenever you have wrestling background like this, I'm telling you, those workouts are extremely hard. And I would be willing to bet he's an extremely coachable kid. So his striking will get better. Nice knees to the body there.
Nearing the 10-second mark here for the first round. And another interesting note in this fight. Oh, nice punches there from the top from Yaya. I'll give you that interesting note here in just a second. This fight is at a catch weight of 150, and Gilberto weighed in at 144. Didn't mind giving up the weight there. Like seeing that from both guys. You know what? Just want to get the fight. Let's get a fight, right? Like, it's amateur. Get it. You want to be a hot prospect.
Doomsday. So got to be careful about that. He'll clean that up a little bit, but good ground and pound from Riles in the first round. I think he dominated the round pretty easily. Was able to get it down, fairly easy. And I think that's where he wanted the fight to go all along. So this fight going exactly the way Yaya Riles expected it and wanted it to go.
Can we give some love to our corner there for Yaya with the overalls? I'm not sure who that is, but in his corner, this is the first appearance of overalls in the Fury FC cage, I believe.
I'm just happy he has a shirt on.
Yeah. I like going nothing. Yeah. I like going, shirtless overalls. Yes. Round 2.
Straight farmer.
Yep. Nothing says farmer like me. Yeah. In my loafers and a dress shirt.
Here we go, round 2. You see Riles mixing it up a little bit with a head kick there. Not much behind it. Almost more for vanity, I think. Wanted to show that he could do it. Nice turn there. Good double leg. Nice turn, and then the elevation and lift, and slams him down. That may have hurt. That slam
Gilberto's in a super defensive position right now, and this might be near the end. He is covering up, just waiting to survive.
Yeah, in this amateur fights, they're not going to let this go very long. Got to be careful not to get those shots to the back of the head.
Man, what an impressive takedown. I can't wait to see the highlight on that one. And these punches are just raining in hard. I want to see if Nick Sherlock is going to step in here. Not much being done to defend himself by Gilberto here.
Yeah, I expect that this fight should be ended here pretty quick. Riles dominating, another minute and a half left to be in this position. Gilberto Melara doesn't show any indication that he knows how to get out of this position right now. Or maybe he knows, he's just not able. He's got a big-time wrestler sitting on top of him, carrying his weight.
And his pressure is so good with his legs.
Yeah, he's got that gift wrap now, making it even more difficult for him to defend himself. Yeah,
and that is, come on. At this point, it looks like there's, that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Yaya Riles with the round 2 stoppage. An impressive start. That takedown we'll see in a second, Michael, but that was just way too much. Might have gone a little bit longer, which is, you know what? Okay, we're going to go by pro rules almost here.
Yeah.
But a good stoppage nonetheless, and congratulations to Yaya Riles on his 3rd win.
Yeah, he's able to get the win. I mean, like I said, that's probably exactly how he painted the picture. If he wanted to paint a picture about how this would go, that's probably exactly how he wanted it. Take this fight to the ground and ground and pound his opponent out, and that's exactly what he did. This was just about the whole second round, Raheel. We had a big slam takedown. I think on the takedown, Gilberto may have gotten hurt a little bit. We saw his face kind of go blank, and the life just leave his body. And then from there, he tried to defend himself, but it was just a matter of time. Riles got on top, and here's that big slam and takedown. You see him kind of, just the energy kind of leaves his body right there. And then this was the kind of the story of the fight from then on. Riles on his back, Yaya raining down punches, and then quickly Nick Sherlock comes in and stops the fight. Good stoppage.
We'll go inside to make this official. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Nick Sherlock calls for a stop to the action. 1 minute, 39 seconds into round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Yaya Muhari Riles.
I just did it, Michael. I circled Yaya as a guy to watch. Up and coming, man. That was awesome. Impressive wrestling, obviously, as we mentioned. And we have another amateur. We have 2 more amateur fights for you on our prelim card. Don't forget, we will be going live on UFC Fight Pass at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Weems against Miller for the title, bantamweight title on UFC Fight Pass. Let's go inside to Wayne to meet our next fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Byron Wells.
Byron Wells making the walk out here. Love it when fighters use Nelly. A nice resurgence of Nelly music lately. I like that. I like it. You know what? We'll take it.
Yeah, we're hearing it. If I hear country grammar, I'm going to get up and sing.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Can we please get country grammar at one point so we can get Michael up and sing and dancing? That'd be awesome. Byron Wells fought at Fury FC Amateur Series 38 earlier this month. Won via TKO in round 3. So right back in. Love that for the young fighter to go back and, you know what, I'm good. Permission, let me go. Let's get it going.
Yeah, especially after their debut. You want to get in, get that first fight over with. And once you get that win, you just want to keep it rolling and keep that momentum going. Looking forward to seeing Byron in this one.
Let's meet his opponent. Here's Wayne.
Please welcome to the red corner, Josh Ramirez.
Oh, I know at some point you were dancing to this song. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Night at the Roxbury, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to go rent the video from Blockbuster today.
Night at the Roxbury, baby. Come on, Josh Ramirez. You just stole our hearts. You just stole our hearts, Josh Ramirez.
That's right. He's too young to know that song, but I'm glad he does. You heard the crowd go wild whenever he came out. Josh with a lot of fans here, being a local from New Orleans at Cyclone BJJ.
Here's another interesting note. Josh Ramirez, we talked about Yaya Riles, right? One of the most decorated wrestlers in New Orleans history. Josh Ramirez is no pushover either. Wrestled in college as well. An outstanding wrestler. You see the 29-year-old Byron Wells, 68 inches on the reach, 5'8" on the height. Josh Ramirez with the advantage on the height and the reach. But Josh Ramirez, talking to some people around New Orleans MMA, said Josh Ramirez is a better wrestler than Yaya Riles. So just letting you know, just a little background here. Here's Wayne for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest brought to you by CleanAthlete.org is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Lightweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 155.4 pounds. Fighting out of Galveston, Texas, he holds an amateur record of 1 win, no losses. This is Byron Wells. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 155.2 pounds. Fighting out of New Orleans, Louisiana, he holds an amateur record of 1 win, no losses. This is Josh Ramirez. Your referee in charge of the action, Rob Sherman.
Man, this New Orleans crowd is awesome.
Yeah, they're ruthless. A big boo for Byron Wells and a huge ovation for Josh Ramirez. You're right, Raheel. Everybody around these parts seems to know Riles and Ramirez.
Ooh, nice kick there, calf kick there from Byron Wells.
And you can see Josh Ramirez, being a decorated wrestler, goes in for a shot there maybe, but you can see even as a decorated wrestler, he's trying to test out his striking right here in round 1.
Josh Ramirez trained with Alex Perez, UFC fighter, 6-1 in the UFC for this fight as well.
Ooh, hard leg kicks by Byron Wells. Byron Wells is not holding anything back here. He is trying to knock this dude out. Ooh, big shot to the temple there. May have stunned Josh Ramirez a little bit. I think it may be taking Ramirez off his game a little bit that he's not able to get in on the legs of Byron Wells. Byron Wells very quick, and as you can see from his physique, very, very strong.
Such an explosive fighter is Byron Wells. His first win at Fury Amateur Series 38 looks so good.
A nice jab there from Byron Wells. 2 conventional stance fighters. Byron Wells continuously landing that left hook and that calf kick. You see both guys, probably their striking has improved since their first fights, but still a little bit tacky on their stand-up. But, I mean, both guys are throwing punches that if they land, the other's going to be in some trouble.
Byron training out of ACS and Texas Striking Academy. So you mentioned that stand-up, of course, Texas Striking Academy known for that. Good combo there from Wells, and good counter-punching as well from Ramirez.
Yeah, Wells is landing that jab almost every time he throws it out. When he's in the pocket and throws that jab, even with a shorter reach, he's still able to land that jab almost every time he throws it out. It's going right through the defense of Josh Ramirez.
I love how Wells is cool, calm, collect the entire time. Like, doesn't change his expression too much.
Yeah, very nice combination there. And Josh Ramirez took a break there to try to push his mouthpiece back in. Ill-advised, but probably a good thing he had it in because Wells landed a few punches there.
You might lose the battle, but I'm not losing that war with
That's
the
right.
knockdown, too.
These 3-minute rounds go by so fast. Ooh. Man, Byron Wells connecting at will, kind of cut Josh Ramirez right there in that last exchange. Josh Ramirez has now got a cut over his left eye. Now you can see that may cause him some problems later on, but both fighters landing a little bit, but Byron Wells definitely with the bigger shots. Seemingly unaffected by the shots of Josh Ramirez, but landing those hard calf kicks. That jab is really, really effective. And then when he let his hands go, he was landing almost every time. Josh Ramirez going in for that kind of half-hearted takedown. Would probably love to get this fight to the ground in the second round. If I were guessing, I would imagine his coach would tell him exactly that. Get this fight to the ground.
But as you mentioned, his quick kicks, his ability to negate those takedowns, that's something to watch for. Now, I'm sure, look, Josh has seen it 100,000 times. They're like training so much. But it's kind of different when you see it with this kind of speed.
Yeah, and the athlete behind the speed, I mean, kind of the will, it's a good fight so far.
Round 2, blue gloves, by the way, for Wells. Ramirez in the red gloves.
Yeah, exactly what we thought. Probably, was trying early in the fight to go for those double legs. His coaches probably told him, let's try single legs and try to pull him down to the mat, running the pipe. And this is exactly what he wants. Unleashing some ground and pound right now. Good job of control here. Very different looking match here in the second round.
Now with the mount is Ramirez.
Yeah, Byron Wells making a mistake there. Oh, nice transition to an armbar. He's got him stretched out. That's far.
Oh, that's a tap.
That's a tap.
That looked like it was going to go the other way.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Impressive second round and win for Josh Ramirez. Masterful on the ground, Michael.
I think I'm going to go have a talk with him.
Wow. What a great second round. Just got caught, did Byron Wells. Great transition work from Josh Ramirez, who now gets his second win as an amateur in front of this New Orleans crowd that is losing their mind. That was awesome. What a great way to get us started for Fury FC 65, Miller versus Weems. Right after we make this official, Michael Alexander will talk to Josh Ramirez. We'll go inside to Wayne Leggett in just a second, but man, let's take a look at the highlights first, because round one was all Wells, but it was the second round takedown that started the end for Wells, with Ramirez with that impressive transition, gets the arm. Wells tried to roll out of it, tried to get into a better position to avoid that tap, but it was just too much. You see that full mount? This is where those punches started landing, and there's that beautiful transition and a huge win for Josh Ramirez. Let's go inside to Wayne Leggett to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 49 seconds into round number 2. Declaring a winner by tap out due to an armbar, Josh Ramirez.
I'm here with your winner, Josh Ramirez. Josh, you look like you wanted to test your stand-up a little bit there in the first round, but weren't having any of it in the second. How did that feel for you to get that finish?
It felt really good. I was just really excited to test my stand-up. It's been a while, but I've been doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu my whole life. Kind of want to see what it feels like to get punched in the face and punch somebody back.
Well, you did get punched in the face a little bit, but you came back very, very quickly in the second round and finished it with a beautiful armbar transition. That was just a beautiful finish. What do you think's next for you?
Anything, the next best thing for me is whatever opportunity presents itself.
Well, we're going to put a check mark beside your name. We're looking forward to seeing you again. Your winner, Josh Ramirez.
Congratulations again to Josh Ramirez. Man, what a fun way to get this card going. These fans are hyped. Let's meet our next fighter. Here's Wayne.
Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Jackson Parks.
Jackson Parks trying to get that record back up and running. 3-5 with his amateur career, this lightweight. 1-3 in his last 4 dating back to 2021. He lost at Fury Amateur Series 37 versus Joel Heinen via disqualification. But he's a guy who he's looking to get more cage time, get that stand-up going. He likes to throw a lot of kicks, Michael. He's really long for this weight class, as well as you can see. He's good at working against the cage. I was watching some of his old fights. He's very comfortable up against the cage.
Yeah, I'm looking at him, and he lists himself at 5'11". He looks taller than that, but maybe because he's a 145er, he's kind of thin. But yeah, big, tall 145er, probably hard to deal with.
Let's go inside to Wayne to meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Jason Asher.
All right, you want another New Orleans fighter? We've got it for you, Jason Asher. fighting out of here in New Orleans, training at Mid-City MMA. His nickname, All Smoke. He wants all the smoke. Love the confidence. He has really active hands. Won his amateur debut. Back in January via unanimous decision.
Yeah, we just almost had a wasp sting us. Landed on our microphone. Something wrong. Jackson Park, he does not lose himself at 5'11". He's 6'3". No wonder he looks a little taller than 5'11".
This lightweight bout in our Fury amateur in our amateur division. 6'3" for Jackson Parks, as we mentioned. 2-inch reach advantage for Parks. Jason Archer, the 21-year-old, the younger of the fighters. Let's go inside to Wayne for our official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by Blue Nola Transportation, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series lightweight division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 154.8 pounds. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, he holds 3 victories as an amateur. This is Jackson Parks. Watch out for that wasp. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in at 155.2 pounds. Fighting out of New Orleans, Louisiana, he holds an amateur record of 1 win, no losses. This is Jason All Smoke Asher. Your referee in charge of the action, Myron Goday.
You heard Wayne mention that wasp.
Yeah.
There was a wasp in here. It was on us just a second ago. Glad it's out of the cage so we can get this fight going.
Yeah, 2 big featherweights here. Or lightweights. What are they? Featherweights? Lightweights. 2 big lightweights here at 6'3" and 6 foot.
Blue gloves, by the way, for Parks. Red for Asher.
And you can tell that Parks has 8 fights because of how relaxed he is in there. You can see how relaxed he is. You can see that he's not as hyped. You can see Asher's a little more bouncing around, got a little more movement, which is good.
Ooh, nice connect there with the left from Asher as Parks was going in.
Now, Parks doing a good job of being long, but he's still getting in there. He's getting really, really close in the pocket. Once he'll kick or he'll jab with his foot or he'll jab with his hand, and then he'll kind of step forward into the pocket, and you see how close he is after that kick. It's like he's leaving it up too long, and he's letting his opponent get into the pocket and get off some punches before he's able to reset. He's to fire those punches and kicks out and get right back to fighting position.
Here are the corners, both of them saying keep your hands up, as he just mentioned. Good catch of the kick there by Jason. I'm telling you, this is where you see, like, they were up against a cage and Jason immediately broke that off. I mean, they for sure watched some of his old fights. He kind of wants the fight on the cage. Does Jackson Parks.
Yeah, and he wants the fights on the cage. He wants to put that big, frame on his opponent, make him carry his weight a little bit. But also, as long as he is, he should be, wanting to fight at range. He should be wanting to fight at the end of those kicks where Asher can't reach him, but he can easily reach Asher.
Nice checked head kick there. Sounded a lot worse than it probably was.
Yeah, those still hurt.
Yeah. Ooh, big punch there from Jackson Parks. 30 seconds left in round 1.
You gotta be careful there. Nice heel hook attempt. Nice escape there from Parks. Parks kind of spun around his body, got that foot out. Now in side control here. Remember, no elbows in the amateur fights. So typically in a fight like this, in a pro fight, you'd be raining down elbows from this position, but not allowed in the amateur ranks.
Nice knee on belly there. Into the mount, but we're going to be ending round one. Good work on the ground there from Jackson Parks.
Yeah, I think Jackson Parks wins that first round. Landed a little bit better punches. Maybe a little bit more pushing the action. And then that kind of that flurry at the end, the mount. But you see here, both guys landing, both guys doing a good job in the pocket. Again, like you said, Raheel, this is where Jackson Parks kind of shines is whenever he's got his opponent on the cage and kind of dirty boxing. Looks like that may have been a slip there more than a landed punch. Asher went for that heel hook there. Parks kind of spun out of it. Spent the last 30 seconds in side control and then the mount. Was able to do a little bit of damage from there. But I think just edged out that first round with Parks.
Good way to go in round one. Both fighters had their moments. Love that from the amateurs. Jackson Parks nearing that area as an amateur where probably thinking about going professional here pretty soon as this is his 9th fight now.
Yeah, 9th fight, and if, one or two more maybe to get his record even, which, honestly, your amateur record only counts if your pro record is great. And so, it really doesn't matter if your pro record, whenever you start making money at it, whenever you start, going to those 5-minute rounds, that's when it really matters. Nice body kicks there from Asher. He did have some success in the first round with those body kicks, and I was wondering why he kind of abandoned them, but it looks like his corner told him between rounds that he needed to go back to those body kicks. With that tall frame and the high hands, Jackson Parks was landing that body kick kind of at will. There he goes again, trying it again.
2 in a row there.
Yeah, he's got to set him up, though. He's got to throw something in the face to pull those hands up. Want to block with those hands and open up that rib cage, and that's when you throw the kick. And it's almost simultaneously. There can be no hesitation between those two actions. And you see, again, he just kind of throws the kick without setting it up with a punch. Ooh, nice body shot there from Jackson Parks. May have hurt Asher a little bit. He's bending over, trying to get, you see him protecting his rib there, maybe trying to catch his breath. Yeah, Asher feigning just a little bit, but still going to those body kicks. He kind of gave up his back there. He was trying to punch and run there, and Jackson Parks immediately, as soon as he turned his back, attacked him, got that body lock. Asher back in front of him now, but up against the cage. You see Asher, when he retreats, he kind of turns his back to his opponent. That's a no-no most of the time. You don't want to turn your back to your opponent unless it's absolutely necessary, and I can only think of a couple of scenarios where it's necessary, that not being one of them.
Learning lesson that could have been really bad, but just learn. That's good.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't want to learn from experience with that one.
Nice body kicks again from Asher. If he would set him up just a little bit better, throw some punches, throw some combinations, and then throw that kick. The key to those body kicks is getting those hands and elbows up high, because the last thing you want is the top of that foot and those carpals to land on the point of that elbow. It can be devastating. It'll break your foot for sure, and won't necessarily stop the fight, but it'll definitely change the way you fight.
Absolutely. End of round 2. Jackson Parks, Jason Asher. Go on to the final round here. Take a look at round 2 highlights in just a second, but who'd you have winning that one? Seemed to be a more even round.
Yeah, it was more even, but I think I would give that one to Jason Asher, the second round. So I've got this 1 round apiece so far, but, just landing the more effective shots. Jackson did land that body shot that caused Asher to run around the cage a little bit and kind of run from him a little bit. Maybe he was out of breath, but once he got his breath back and started landing those body shots again, I don't know, really tough one to call. I would assume that you're either, if I was Asher, I would assume you're either down 2 rounds to 1 or it's even. Got to win this either way. Always interesting to hear what these coaches tell their amateur fighters in between rounds. It's always very, very interesting. It's always something that they want them to work on and something they've been working on in the gym. Not necessarily a game plan to beat their opponent, but something that they're some exact specific thing that they're working on and have been working on, and they want to see it work.
Yeah, that's a really good point by you. That is the interesting thing of the amateur division is, what are you trying to work on? Are you trying to work on stuff from the gym? Are you working on stuff in here, or you see an adjustment you want to work on? You want to work on your fighter taking coaching as well, right? Taking those tips, listening during the fight.
Yeah, that's very, very important. The best guys in the world all do it. They, listen to what their coaches are seeing, and they're able to hear it while they're still fighting, while they're still concentrating. It's all kind of one mechanism. It's not, those aren't different facets of fighting. Fighting's all kind of one mechanism. You have to be able to do all those things to be successful long-term in fighting. You got to have the good cardio. You got to have, you got to have a decent, you got to be really good in one area, or you got to have a decent, game in every area. And you have to listen to coaching, and you have to, be able to implement a game plan. I mean, all those things are very, very important, and this is what they're developing here as amateur fighters. Nice head kick. Ooh, another one. Going right over the top of that hand this time.
Yeah, Jason Asher probably threw 20, 25 kicks the last round. Comes out throwing kicks again.
Yeah, and there he goes. He's retreating again with his back turned to his opponent. And, there's nothing good that can come out of that if Jackson Parks would have, kind of pushed the issue and chased him down. I mean, that's a bad situation whenever someone's chasing you down and your back's turned in an MMA fight. Now, it looks like Asher's trying to get in for a takedown, trying to get this down to the mat. At this point of the fight, I don't know if he's going to have much success with that. Both fighters look extremely tired.
I was going to say, a lot of those shots are just being thrown to throw. Not much intention behind it. We've talked about who won the first 2 rounds, but so far, Michael, what do you think? How do you have this going on the scores?
I think maybe, Asher was winning at first with those kind of heavy head kicks, and I think Asher's kind of Parks is kind of taking over the round. Here he goes with that anaconda choke. Decided he didn't want to do that. He had it locked up and decided he didn't want to do it. Maybe decided he hasn't had much success in the gym at finishing those. Anaconda chokes, in my opinion, are the harder to finish between that and the Darce. Very difficult to finish, but a fairly easy transition from that.
What's the old saying? My anaconda don't want none.
Yeah.
If you ain't got.
Well, here we go. Raheel Ramzanali, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I don't want to be the judges for this one, Raheel.
Nope, not at all.
Especially not with a local guy here on the card.
Nice back end of the round work there from Jackson Parks. But Jason Asher was throwing a lot more in the first half of that round 3. So we'll see how the judges score it. But look at our highlights. So many kicks being thrown by Asher.
Yeah, you saw Asher landing those kicks early. And then Parks kind of took over the round. You saw, anytime you see the punches landing and your opponent takes off running and, kind of retreats with his back turned, I don't know how that looks to the judges, but it doesn't look good to me. Yeah, you saw Parks with that anaconda locked up, had the hands laced, had everything through, had it proper. Must not have had much luck finishing that in the gym, so decided against it. But maybe an opportunity to finish the fight there that he wasn't able to take care of. But I think he probably won this fight. I think if I'm just guessing, keep in mind we don't have any say in this. But if I were guessing, I would think Jackson Parks by just a hair.
I don't know if many people caught this, but as that fight ended, Jackson Parks, fighting out of Austin, Texas, trying to get the crowd pumped up a little bit here in New Orleans, trying to get them to cheer for him.
Yeah, especially after they booed him whenever he came out.
He got booed earlier. Hey, don't forget, we are going to be going live on UFC Fight Pass at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Fury FC 65 Weems versus Miller. And don't forget, and I want to tell you right now, since you're watching, we've got Zach Borrego moving on to this main card. He was supposed to fight on the prelims, but he and Tommy Britton now will open the main card on UFC Fight Pass. So do join us for that. Let's go inside to Wayne for our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge 1 scores the fight 29-28, Asher. Judge 2 scores the fight 29-28, Parks. Your third and final judge scores this fight 29-28, declaring your winner by split decision. All smoke, Jason Asher.
What do you think, Michael?
Very close fight, but I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I agree with the one judge, the way he had it, 29-28 Parks, but what do we know? What do we do? We're just commentators. We just talk about fights.
Hey, doesn't matter. I know it's a loss for Parks, and of course he wants to win that and move his record closer to 500. He goes now to 3-6. But hey, that was a good showing, good cage time, and we'll see what Parks does next. But nice second win for Jason Asher. Let's go inside to Wayne for our next fighter.
That concludes the amateur portion of the undercard. We're moving on to the pros. Please welcome to the blue corner, Christian Lopez.
Christian Lopez, who earlier in the year had one of the most devastating knockouts over Oliver Jimenez, to the point where we had to stop the card. It was incredible. And now we see what's next and how do you look, all that hype, all that excitement. Now you got yourself another fight.
Real, there was a time when I thought Christian Lopez must have done something to Eric Garcia, because he gave him right off the bat Justice Torres as his debut. Then Michael Aswell, both fights he lost. And then Oliver Jimenez, who was a highly touted guy coming out ready to make his pro debut. There was a ton of people in that venue just there to see Oliver that didn't even know him, but knew about his striking acumen, knew about his world-class striking, and wanted to see him. Christian Lopez knocked him out in devastating fashion.
Let's go inside to meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Ryan Milonson.
And Christian Lopez gets Rylan Milonson, who is making his professional debut right here at Fury FC in the featherweight division. He was a very active amateur fighter, Michael, 8-3, fought twice this year already in January and March. He's won titles in other promotions in that amateur career. Now finally making that debut for such an exciting fighter.
Yeah, he's on the, their amateur fights. He's on a 6-fight win streak, fighting out of the Gladiators Academy over there with UFC veteran Tim Prater. You see him over there in his corner, fighting out of right here. He's a hometown guy in Louisiana. Last fight was just a couple of months ago. He's a wrestler. He's a boxer. Been fighting since 2018. Has decent submission. Been training 9 years under Tim. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt and was a high school wrestler.
Our tail of the tape, Rylan Milonson with that reach advantage. Both fighters made weight for this featherweight bout. And the one thing that stands out, 21 and 22, super young fighters. We'll get this going in just a second, but here's Wayne Leggett for our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest brought to you by the Fury Unleashed podcast, available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC featherweight division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 143 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, to date, he seeks his second victory as a pro. This is Christian Cannibal Lopez. In introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighed in at a perfect 145 pounds. Fighting out of Karen Crow, Louisiana, to today he makes his professional debut. This is Smiling Rylan Milonson. Your referee in charge of the action, Gabe Barahona.
Final instructions here for our first professional bout on our prelims. Christian Lopez in the blue gloves, Rylan Milonson in the red. We are getting our pro on. Nice opening kick there from Lopez.
Yeah, Christian Lopez very active on his feet, bouncing around, trying to stay out of the front of Rylan Milonson. Hope I'm saying that right. Milonson.
Okay, we're New Orleans.
Call him Smiling Rylan.
Smiling Rylan.
That's what he likes to be called.
He does call himself the happiest man in MMA. Interesting, where we usually see a wrestler convert to mixed martial arts, Rylan actually did the opposite. He converted from just training in MMA to wrestling, and you see some of that on display here. Good takedown. He talked about that transition on the You're Gonna Learn Today podcast, and that is it. That is it. I was just giving you the notes, and that fight is over, and Christian Lopez is hurt badly.
His elbow is dislocated, and the reason that he tapped out, it was not the punches initially, but he tapped out because he tried to put his hand down whenever he was slammed down, and that is a big no-no, ladies and gentlemen. You do not try to catch your own body weight with the palm of your hand. It dislocated the elbow. That elbow is completely out right now.
You know I'm not looking in the cage.
I know, you're a sissy.
Oh my God. That was absolutely unbelievable.
Look for heel, the doctor's trying to put it back in.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll just keep looking at Rylan Milonson with a huge win on that incredible takedown. Let's take a look at our highlights here. This is the second time we've seen this in the last 2 months.
Yeah, and you see Christian Lopez was landing. Christian Lopez was winning this stand-up war, and you see this big elevation. He wanted to get him over in front of his coaches, over there in front of Tim, and bam, right there. You see him try to put his palm down, that elbow dislocated, and then he immediately starts tapping. That pain is bad, I'm telling you. There is nothing, a dislocated joint, there is nothing like it, and there is not much you can do once it happens.
Oh, man. He's not on camera right now, but Christian Lopez is in some pain, and there he is. A little bit earlier, he was just stomping his feet, just trying to deal with that pain.
Yeah,
man.
Big slam there from Rylan. Rylan doing a great job, carried him across the cage, wanted to get him over there in front of his coaches to get some instruction, and wasn't necessary. Yeah, here's another look at that. You guys want to be fighters at home. This is what happens. This is what bad technique can do to you. Now, Christian Lopez was just, going on. You can see he's just going on instinct, and that's something you have to train for. You have to be able to learn how to fall. Break falls are very, very important to learn. Almost as important as just about anything you see in this cage. That is a skill that has to be acquired.
And we saw that earlier in our Summer of Fury, which, by the way, has just been outstanding. So much fun, so many good cards. I don't remember the exact fight. I'll have to go back in my notes during our break. But we had another fighter who that was getting taken down. Did the elbow. Now was it? Let's make this official. Here's Wade.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 54 seconds into the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO, Smiling Rylan Milonson.
And good. Christian Lopez is now standing back up. His elbow is immobilized, as you see on your screen right now. So,
yeah, they got a pizza box on his elbow. On his arm. He's going to head to the hospital. Typically, those aren't serious injuries, Raheel. They're recoverable. They can go back in as long as there's nothing broken. He should be back in play, back in the gym in 6 weeks or so.
Let's go inside to Wayne to meet our next fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Joseph Aguilar.
All right, we're going to go showcase these fast and furious 125ers. Joseph Aguilar, Kid Lightning, coming off that tough loss to Francisco Obando, where, remember, he went in with a lot of confidence. He thought he was going to win that one. He lost that one at Fury FC 60. Ran out of gas. I went back and watched that fight because it was a fun fight. He did run out of a little gasser, had some good moments. When he was going for good submissions was Joseph Aguilar. But unfortunately lost that fight. But now back in, trying to get the second win of his professional career is Aguilar.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you call yourself Kid Lightning, and what that tells me is you like to move around the ring a lot. You got a lot of fast twitch movements, you know, very high pace. But if you don't have the cardio to keep up with that, you got to be smart about how you use that. Not a good start going in there screaming at the top of your lungs, and not a good start, but we'll see how it works out for him, see if he's improved that part of his game since last time we saw him.
And let's meet his opponent. Here's Wade.
Please welcome to the red corner, Jared Fryu.
All right, another Louisiana fighter, Jared Fryu.
Yeah, like we said on the opening, a lot of OU and EUXs here on this card. Started with Jared Fryu. And I put fighting out of Louisiana, and I put duh beside his comments because of his name. You could tell from that. This guy, 31 years old, 6-1 as an amateur, making his pro debuts on a 5-fight win streak. 4 of 6 as amateur wins or finishes. Been fighting since 2013, but hasn't lost since 2017. So been a while since he's lost. Been a fairly active fighter. See how he does here in his pro debut versus Kid Lightning.
Loves to throw his hands like Aguilar does, as well as you mentioned, the 31-year-old Jared Fryu on the height. It's Aguilar with the height advantage and reach advantage at 70 inches for Kid Lightning, the 24-year-old in this flyweight showdown. Let's get this officially underway. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next match, brought to you by CleanAthlete.org, is scheduled for 3 rounds. In the Fury FC, this is Kid Lightning, Joseph Aguilar.
Here we go.
And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist is 5 feet 4 inches tall, and he weighed in at a perfect 125 pounds. Fighting out of Destrehan, Louisiana, today he makes his professional debut. This is Jared Fryu. Your referee in charge of the action, Nick Sherlock.
Final instructions here for Nick Sherlock. Both fighters are ready. Red gloves for Fryu, blue for Aguilar.
Yeah, Kid Lightning immediately sees those high hands and goes for that body kick. Already got an armbar here. That's very, very fast. Looks like he lost it and just used it to sweep Fryu. Very nice armbar. I don't know how he lost that. That was deep. It's hard to tell. They had their back to us, but
like Fryu just pulled it out at that perfect moment.
Yeah, Fryu definitely did a good job of avoiding that finish there, because that was very, very close to being a finish.
Good work on the ground there from Joseph Aguilar. Kid Lightning, good punches and elbows mixed in as well.
Yeah, and you can see already, Raheel, that 125 pace is going. These guys kind of going at it. This is their first little lull in just under a minute. It's the first time they've stopped moving. And these are pro fights now, ladies and gentlemen, so all rules are in play. All MMA sanctioned rules are in play. Elbows.
It's time for these fighters to unleash the elbows.
Unleash the knees. And you can tie clinch and all kinds of stuff. We go back to their feet. Kid Lightning continuing to pour on the pressure here. Ooh, nice little leg kick there from Fryu. caused Kid Lightning to kind of retreat a little bit.
Fryu making his debut, as we mentioned earlier. How is this pace going to hold up for him? Nice kick there from Aguilar. Oh, nice punch there from Fryu.
Yeah, Joseph Aguilar throwing some spinning kicks here. Yeah, both guys here trying to put out at a very high pace. And you can see the technique's already starting to fade just a little bit on Fryu. Making his debut as an amateur, or as a pro, but has plenty of amateur fights. Had a lot of experience in the cage. So don't let that debut part fool you.
Halfway mark, round 1. Ooh, loaded shot there that just missed from Fryu.
Yeah, and you can see the reach advantage there for Aguilar is pretty significant. I think it was 5 inches, and you can see that he's using it. Fryu not able to connect in the pocket, having to get in there really, really close to be able to connect with Kid Lightning. Aguilar continuing with those kicks. Fryu having a lot of success with that left hook there.
Big
coming right over the top and throwing hard there, trying to finish this fight now. Little capoeira there from Joseph Aguilar. Not exactly sure what his capoeira skills are, but based on that kick, they're not extremely high. Let's see if he can redeem himself and give us something later on. Fryu with a hard knee to the midsection there.
Uh-oh. Can we get one of the cameras on Mike the Truth Jackson? He's getting PTSD again. He had to turn away. That was funny. He's sitting in front of us.
Yeah, Mike Jackson just gave his camera to somebody. He's leaving the building.
Mike Jackson does not like to see those kind of cup shots here. Let's take a look at this. And
watch this,
Mike. You
Mike.
could actually hear it. I don't know if you could hear it, Mike, but I could hear the connect, and it was, whew, that was, oh.
Yeah, from this camera angle,
right there.
You're not going to be able to see it well, the actual connection, but with the camera across from it, let's see if we got that other angle. But Aguilar's going to take a little while. He's got 5 minutes to recover here, and if I were him, I would take every bit of it.
Man, shout out to his cup.
Oh, wow, he just went from nothing to, he went from I can't go to let's go. His face changed very, very quick. Let's see how it affected his game here moving forward.
You know, that connect was so loud that it almost was like a flush connect, which is what you want with that cup, right? You don't want it at the angles, because that's where you got some trappage, and you can get really hurt.
Yeah. Depending on what kind of cup you have.
Yeah.
But if you get that straight on cup and the cup is pointed in the back, and that point goes somewhere, and it's not always pleasant. Anyway, that's cup talk.
Yeah, there's your cup talk for Raheel and Michael. Welcome to our TED Talk.
Yeah. You can see Aguilar kind of got his head buried down there. Really hard to be effective, really tough to put pressure. Ooh, and he had to be careful there. That may have been an illegal shot. That may have been a downed opponent. We'll see. Now he's got himself locked up in a guillotine, a standing guillotine. This is very, very high. That's very, very tight. That high elbow guillotine. He's got about 20 seconds left.
There's a tap. Wow.
That looked like Aguilar did an illegal knee to a downed opponent, and all it did was piss Jared Fryu off, and he came up with a vengeance with that high elbow guillotine and finished this fight.
What a finish there from Jared Fryu. You caught, I mean, as soon as it was locked in, that was perfect, and you worked that angle just right. Man, what a win for the Louisiana fighter.
Man, I kind of want to go talk to him, but we need to keep this rolling. But
this is where he gets started. Aguilar gets hit.
Yeah, you see that low kick kind of landed there. Started out the fight with a tight armbar. Don't know if he gave up on it or if he just felt like he lost the position. Here we go again. We'll see that cup check here from a different camera angle. Nice spinning kick from Aguilar. Aguilar was kind of taking over this fight. And here we go. Good exchanges here from Fryu, but I feel like he was still losing the fight. There's your cup check. And then right after that, they didn't show the knee from the downed opponent, which was very, very close. And then that high elbow guillotine with a big finish there. He was about to pass out. So good stoppage.
Let's go inside to Wayne to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 4 minutes, 43 seconds into the round number 1, declaring your winner by tap out due to a guillotine. Free love, Jared Fryu.
And congratulations to Jared Fryu winning his professional debut here at Fury FC 65, Miller versus Weems. Final pictures here for a memorable moment for this flyweight. What a finish. Let's go inside to Wayne to meet our next fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Tedrick Macklin.
Choo-choo. Do you hear that, Michael?
Yep, I do. Tedrick Macklin coming in. You know, last time we talked to Tedrick was in Edinburgh, Texas, and he put the rest of the division on notice that he was coming.
Tedrick train, baby.
Yeah, and here he is again. He's 2-0, both wins by submission. This dude is a world-class athlete. He is a world champion in karate. He's a state champion in taekwondo. Started martial arts at age 6 because he was an anime fan and wanted to be able to learn to fight. He wanted to be able to do what those guys in the animes were doing. So here he is. He was the Fury FC amateur welterweight champ, born in Midland, Texas. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. Finishes 6 of his 8 wins, including, of course, his amateur career, are finishes. This dude is a finisher. This dude always shows up in shape, and he is an absolute monster inside that cage, Riles.
You saw him, as you mentioned earlier, in our Summer of Fury at Bert Ogden with Solomon Amadeo. It was over so quick. And not talking about the fight was over quick too, but that final flurry from Tedrick, it just happened so fast. Explosive athlete. Can't wait to watch him. And now let's meet his opponent. Here's Wayne.
Please welcome to the red corner, Jacob Small.
Yeah,
we promised you. We have a lot of Louisiana fighters.
That's right. Jacob Small here, a police officer from the West Bank of New Orleans, Louisiana, right here. This is his pro debut, and what a debut against Tedrick Macklin. But he comes to fight. He fights out of Mid-City MMA. Trains with Van Lee over here in Louisiana. Won championship, welterweight champion. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. Recently started his career with the Gretna Police Department, and he's the boyfriend of Macy Bro, who we'll see later on in the card in the women's division. So, pretty cool that they're a fighting couple. Makes domestic violence a lot different when one's a cop and they're both fighters.
Yeah, that's man, that's that competitive couple right there.
That is.
Tedrick Macklin, Jacob Small in our lightweight division. 74 inches on the reach for Jacob Small. Has that advantage there and has the height advantage as well. Both fighters, 25 years old, both fighters did make weight. A lot of energy for this one. Tedrick Macklin, Jacob Small.
Jacob looks like a nice police officer, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Here's Wayne for our official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next fight, brought to you by Space City Collective, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 155.8 pounds. Fighting out of Midland, Texas, he's undefeated as a pro, holding a record of 2 wins, no losses. This is Tedrick Macklin. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, and he too weighed in at 155.8 pounds. Fighting out of New Orleans, Louisiana, today He makes his professional debut. This is Jacob Biggie Small. Your referee in charge of the action, Rob Sherman.
Raheel, I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but I think they were doing the Cotton Eye Joe, and they're looking at each other. These guys never took their eyes off each other and started kind of mimicking each other's movements over in the corner.
They must have walked half a mile going back and forth in their corner, just mirroring each other. Tedrick Macklin, blue gloves. Biggie Small, a.k.a. Jacob Small with the red gloves. An explosive start already for Tedrick Macklin.
Yeah, Tedrick Macklin, like he told us at his last fight when we interviewed him, he's coming, and he's coming hard. Putting the rest of the division on notice.
Already 2-0 in his professional career is Tedrick Macklin, former Fury amateur champion as well. Good takedown attempt there from Jacob Small, but Tedrick Macklin saw that coming.
Yeah, it was in this clinch last time where Tedrick started to kind of take over. He got the fight to the ground, and once he got the fight to the ground, it was pretty much a wrap.
Saw he had a good single leg there to Jacob Small, but good base there from Macklin.
Oh, nice punch there from Jacob Small. Kind of stunned Tedrick Macklin there. Yeah, Tedrick was kind of on his heels there for a second. Had to kind of get his bearings back. It looks like he's back now. But nice shot there by Biggie Small.
It's like one of those shots that connect like that. You just want to see it just to get your groove going. See how that powers Jacob Small rest of this round.
Yeah, and I'm sure it boosts his confidence there, knowing that he can hurt Tedrick Macklin. Tedrick Macklin, a big lightweight, big, powerful guy. Punches in volume, good on the ground. But Jacob Small, he had 11 amateur fights. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Looks like he's got decent striking.
Making his professional debut. Hasn't fought since 2020, though, as you mentioned, that amateur career.
He hasn't fought since 2020, probably doing some police academy stuff in that time. Yeah, his girlfriend Macy also going into law enforcement, as we'll talk about later later on the broadcast on UFC Fight Pass. She's now the second fight. The ladies were going to start it out, but they're the second fight now.
Good Chinese there from Tedrick Macklin.
Yeah, Tedrick's starting to pour on the pressure now.
Oh,
big shot there.
That's it. That is it. Rob Sherman says that is enough. What an ending by Tedrick Macklin once again. Told you that ending just comes so fast from Macklin. Such an explosive fighter.
Man, it does, and all it takes is one. He needs to connect with one, and Jacob Small was kind of running, he just ran out of places to go, and Tedrick Macklin closed the distance and was able to finish that. Got this 155 division on notice for Hill.
Take note.
3-0 now.
Wow, 3-0 Tedrick Macklin. The Tedrick train not only has it left the station, it's almost halfway there, so it's kind of late to jump on. We were first on, by the way.
Yeah.
You look at our round one highlights. Those knees by Macklin.
Yeah, here we go. You see Jacob Small trying to run, and he just runs out of room. That punch connected right on the tip of the chin. Jacob Small folded pretty quickly. Like you see, he runs out of room there. Takes that punch right on the chin. Tedrick Macklin finishing it out with a couple of punches. Referee jumping in there very quickly to finish a good stoppage. Tough fight, tough debut for Jacob Small, but big win for Tedrick Macklin.
Let's go inside to Wade.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 2 minutes, 52 seconds into the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO, Tedrick Macklin.
Cedric Macklin. And good to see Jacob Small, everything he's doing in the community. Can't wait to see him fight again as well. Cedric Macklin, 3-0 now.
Yeah, and had a little adversity in there. I mean, took a shot, was able to get his bearings back, and then was able to finish the fight pretty quickly after that. But it looks like all it did whenever he got his belt rung was just make him mad. Started throwing those flurries and got after Jacob Small and got the finish. Nice performance.
Nice performance. Let's go inside to Wayne to meet our next fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Isaiah Diggs.
Isaiah Diggs making his pro debut after going 6-0 in his amateur career, Michael.
Yeah, 6-0 in his amateur career, and his opponent's record at 6-0, his opponent's record was 13-3. So this guy was not fighting any punks as an amateur. This guy was fighting top-level competition. He wanted only people with winning records, and he's the #1 ranked amateur lightweight in Colorado. So this guy's no joke. Don't let that 0-0 fool you. 6-0 as an amateur, making his pro debut. Been fighting only since 2021. He had 5 fights in 2021 and 1 in 2022. So been very, very active and just been on a roll, trying to keep this train rolling.
As you mentioned, did fight at 155. This fight is going to be in our featherweight division, fighting at 145. You'll see our tail of the tape in just a second. But Isaiah Diggs, just an all-around solid fighter, but his wrestling, that's what I was told to watch out for, because he is relentless with that wrestling.
Yeah, man, and he's got the build for it. You know, he's a little bit shorter fighter. It looks like he does 145 well. I think this is a good weight division for him. I don't know how he could go down any further. He carries a lot of muscle on that frame.
Let's go inside to Wade to meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Pena Alamo.
Pena Alamo. We're saying his name correctly this time.
Yeah, we are. We're saying it correctly this time. Pena Alamo. This guy, we watched him fight not too long ago. We called his last fight back in February. From Turkmenistan, now living in Oak Cliff in Dallas, Texas. He's been living in the U.S. for about 2 years now. He runs and owns a mobile dog grooming business. So, of course, he has a great haircut. He's got a good face. Aspires to be the first Turkmenistan fighter in the UFC. He demand a few words, but lets his fighter speak for himself.
Our tale of the tape brought to you by Howard Head Whiskey. Unleash the monkey spirit. You see the height advantage for Pena, 5'11". Also that reach advantage at 71 inches. 25-year-old Isaiah Diggs.
This might be the sleeper fight of the night, man. Even though they're both making debuts, these guys were very, very good as amateurs. These guys are very, very talented.
Let's get our official introduction. Cheers, Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by Blue Nola Transportation, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC featherweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 144.6 pounds. Fighting out of Federal Way, Washington, today he makes his professional debut. This is Isaiah Diggs. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle grappling kickboxer stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, and he weighed in at 142 pounds. Fighting out of Mary, Turkmenistan, today he too makes his professional debut. This is Pena Alamo. Your referee in charge, Myron Goday.
Myron Goday, final instructions here. Blue gloves for Isaiah Diggs. Pena with the red gloves. And that crazy reach advantage and height advantage. And immediately, we go to the wrestling.
Yeah, Isaiah Diggs wanting no part of the stand-up game right now. Wanting to make sure that he gets his fight where he's comfortable.
Mentioned he had the big-winded Pena Alamo. at Fury FC 58, where he got that win over Austin Collada, his final amateur fight. A nice triangle choke victory. Nice little left there from Isaiah Diggs. Back to the cage we go. Good pressure there from Pena.
Yeah, Pena kind of stalling the action here. Definitely wants to lean on Isaiah Diggs just a little bit. That bigger, taller frame. Kind of weird trying to go in for an elbow there.
Yeah, really left everything exposed.
Yeah, and Diggs kind of letting him do what he wants whenever he gets there. Ooh, nice big double leg takedown there. Big lift and slam. Got to be careful though. Penny looking for that Kimura grip there.
How big of a threat is that right now in this position, Michael?
Man, he's got the leg locked up. He's got one leg locked up. He just needs to clear the wrist. And what he's trying to do is, a little bit ill-advised. He's trying to kind of push the wrist through the body of Isaiah Diggs. What you want to do is pull that wrist out towards your body, get that his elbow in your chest as much as you can, and use that core to kind of overpower that arm. And what Isaiah wants to do is get that left hip down to that elbow to make sure that he can't pull it out. Now, both of them have a feel in there, and of course he let it go, but both guys have a feel in there whether he had it or not. Obviously, Isaiah not taking defensive measures to that, so didn't think he really had it as much as maybe it looked like from our standpoint.
In fact, Isaiah, right after the elbow was let go, good body shots there to the ribs of Pena. Again, trying to get that elbow, but just slips out. Isaiah Diggs. 2 minutes left in round one. We do have one more fight coming your way on our prelims. We should be, depending on the time here. And don't forget, we'll be going live on UFC Fight Pass for Fury FC 65, Miller versus Weems for the bantamweight title at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you get on there, get your subscriptions in right now as we continue our summer of fury from New Orleans.
Now Isaiah Diggs continuing his domination from the top here. Pena Alamo not able to get him off so far. He's got about a minute and a half to try to make something happen here. But after that big takedown, it's been all Isaiah Diggs so far. He's not doing a ton of damage. I think he's definitely winning the round here.
Pena in a lot of defensive positions with really nothing going on outside of that Kimura. Oh, just knocked out the mouthpiece, did Isaiah Diggs. And big shots now from the top.
Yeah, very smart fighting from Isaiah Diggs here. Nice ground and pound. It's past the guard now. And Alamo trying to dig under for that leg. We see this a lot, Raheel, with these guys going for heel hooks in MMA, and man, they just don't think the risk is worth the reward. I mean, when it happens, it's great, but it just doesn't happen very often. Got some blood dripping out of Pena Alamo now. Yeah, there's blood all over the mat. Somebody's dripping hard.
Man, where's it coming from?
I don't know.
Might be on the side of the head or the hairline there.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. 10 seconds left in round one.
Yeah, nice escape.
I still don't see the cut. That's the wild part about all that blood. We'll see, of course, when the cut man gets in there, starts working, and it looks like it's
maybe coming from his nose. That's still hard to tell. I don't know.
I can't tell where that cut is. left eye underneath his left eye. It was coming out, but it stopped. So
how do you do that? How do you stop bleeding mid-round?
Round one highlights. Big slam there from Isaiah Diggs.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth before that big slam. And then Isaiah Diggs, it was all Isaiah. You know, from then on, not getting to see the mouthpiece, kind of flying out right there. I'm surprised he didn't reach over and grab it and put it back in his mouth. Pena going for this heel hook here, but Isaiah doing a good job of clearing the leg and making sure that he stays in good position. Never in any real danger there from that heel hook. But at least he was able to stop getting punched for a little while.
Yeah. Round two. Nice glove touch there. Want to see Pena more with a little bit more offensive urgency.
Yeah, Pena now going for the takedown. Looks like he wants us on the ground, but it looks like, of course, he wants to be on the top. Because on the bottom, he was very ineffective. Looks like he's in that position again. And you can just see the look on his face 20 seconds into the round. You kind of see the look on his face like, oh, no, not again.
Yeah, but he's the one who pulled guard there. So,
yeah, he did.
Like, he didn't learn from the first round. Maybe they saw something that we're talking about that they're okay with in that position. Ooh, a big knee nearly misses. Some nice high knees there from Isaiah Diggs and a big elbow. Woo!
Yeah, Isaiah Diggs doing a great job of picking his shots here. A few knees to the midsection. And those elbows on the break. I see Pena going in for a shot here. I'm kind of surprised to see that. But able to pull the legs out. Able to get Diggs down to the mat, but just for a second, Diggs may end up turning this into a spot where he ends up on top. He's kind of sprawling on the takedown attempt now. Using the cage wisely to get back up to his feet. Diggs with great balance so far. And great defense to this takedown. I mean, Alamo, the longer guy, had his hands connected behind the butt. Still not able to finish the takedown there. And you know that takes a lot out of you, Raheel, mentally and physically.
All that work. Now Isaiah Diggs opening it up just a little bit.
Yeah, and both guys kind of leading with their head and may have bumped heads a little bit there. Yeah, that wrestling background there you see with Isaiah. Wish Alex Morano was here to tell us what the technical name is for these wrestling moves. Yep. Alex is our encyclopedia.
Alex getting ready for his UFC fight. July 31st in Dallas. Couldn't be with us today on the broadcast as we mentioned in our opener.
Yeah, Alex is one of those guys. He doesn't play around during training camp. He's 100% focused, so the Raheel and Mike show. So we're only going to be 2/3 good today.
Yep. To be fair, even when the whole booth is here, we're only 2/3 good because Alex is really good.
That's right.
He carries the 2/3. Us two, we're just
That's
here.
right. Here we go. Isaiah wants us back on the feet. He took a shot earlier from kind of an up kick earlier, and so he did not want to get back into position to have to take one of those up kicks. Isaiah, the shorter fighter, having a problem finding that reach there. But you see, Pena Alamo is just running out of gas here. Isaiah's starting to connect with regularity here.
Yeah, Isaiah, that finish could be on the horizon here for Isaiah Diggs if he just unloads a little bit.
Yeah, very lazy shot there by Pena Alamo. You can see he's just absolutely exhausted. We still have a minute and a half to round 2. And possibly a round 3 pending. Ed Diggs doing a good job of dirty boxing here. Nice elbow on the break there. See, Pena Alamo is just labored.
Sorry, we're right there. 1 minute left here in round 2.
Yeah. That might have been a cup shot, but the referee missed. And Alamo, it was either a cup shot or a kidney shot or a liver shot.
Looked like it just connected perfectly on the body. And now Isaiah Diggs sees that opening.
Big shots there. And Alamo, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to stand. Nice body shots there. Bending over, just trying to mitigate the damage here. Isaiah Diggs continuing to walk him down.
Oh, Payne's just leaving his chin exposed.
Yeah, big body shots. Trying for a big takedown on the wrestler there.
I mean, if you're Isaiah, just stand right back up, get him back up. So 10 seconds left. Can he get the finish in round 2?
Man, Isaiah even punishing with his sprawls. Getting those hips heavy down, landing hard on the head of Pena Alamo. Pena just shaking his head kind of as he walked over to his corner. And you can see the difference in the body language, Raheel. Here we go, there's that up kick from earlier. And that's what caused Isaiah Diggs to not want to do that later on in the fight. Being the shorter fighter with the long-legged Pena Alamo. Isaiah Diggs doing a good job of dirty boxing here. Good job of controlling the clinch. Continuously landing. Beautiful ground and pound from Isaiah Diggs. And that may have been a 10-8 round for Hill. That was a dominating round from Isaiah Diggs.
Isaiah looked so good in that round, especially that final minute and a half, Michael. Could also be that Pena was just out of gas, as you mentioned, looked exhausted, really. Everything was labored. We go to our final round.
You see Isaiah Diggs is ready to get this going. See if he's got enough of the gas tank to get this finish here, or if Pena can come back here. That's, you know, those fatigued fighters are very, very dangerous also, Raheel. And here he goes again. You know, Isaiah wanting to get up and then crowding him on his way up. Surprised the referee didn't jump in there and get between them, but they're back on their feet. And see, that's what I mean. Spit his mouthpiece out. That spinning back fist. And again, that's what I mean, Raheel. That's dangerous. That spinning back fist lands, and you know, that's dangerous. Those can be devastating. And you see that was a proper break fall from Pena Alamo. Isaiah wanting to get back up. Referee telling him to get back up. If he doesn't answer the call, this fight will be over.
Isaiah wants to keep this standing. Now, if there is a takedown opportunity like we saw, you take it, of course. Back on the ground we go, or excuse me, on the feet we go. And again, Isaiah inviting Pena back up.
Yeah, you can see where Isaiah wants this fight. He wants this finish very, very badly. He needs to go back to those combinations to the body like he was doing in round 2 to begin round 2. It was just too much for Pena Alamo. He wasn't able to answer. Of course, every time he gets in the pocket now, Pena is going for those takedowns. Just absolutely exhausted. Trying to turn this into a jiu-jitsu match, or maybe trying to catch him with one of those up kicks. But he's got to understand he's losing this fight. And, you know, he can't keep depending on those things and leaving something to chance. He's got to throw it all out there and let it all hang out, which I know he is. I mean, you can tell it, Raheel, he's exhausted. Isaiah's just continuing to land. Isaiah putting a lot of oomph behind those punches. Ooh, nice left hand there from Isaiah Diggs.
2:40 left, round 3, final round of this fight. Isaiah just teeing off. I mean, credit to Pena Alamo. He is just still trying. He's still trying to throw stuff, trying to survive this fight. I like to see that fighting spirit.
Isaiah's kind of laughing at him now. He's kind of laughing at the stance. I mean,
you got to finish it then, Isaiah. Right?
Yeah. This is
finish the fight.
Isaiah will be very upset if he doesn't get this finish when he watches this tape. Our fight's still on tape, Raheel?
Yeah. We call it tape. Yeah, you go back and watch the tape.
Yeah.
Even though it's digital.
We got it. Yeah, I don't know how much longer the referee's going to let this go. He's taking a lot of shots here. Everything Isaiah is throwing just about is landing. Ooh, big right hand there.
Man, that's so
Isaiah teeing off, man.
Gotta stop this fight. And I understand there's not crazy damage being done in terms of the knockout or anything crazy, but
I don't understand what the referee's doing. He needed to step in there and tell him to stand up.
yeah. Oh,
Man.
that was a shot right there from Isaiah Diggs. 1:10 left in round 3. Man.
Yeah.
Just knee punches. Barely being able to stand.
Yeah, Pena Alamo looking like he had one too many hand grenades today. Just stumbling around in there.
This is what the Fury staff looked like yesterday on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No disrespect to Pena Alamo. Anybody who's been in these fights knows what it's like in that third round, especially whenever you've taken some damage and the fight's not quite going your way.
Mouthpiece out again for Pena. Back in.
Yep, no cleaning it off or anything. Just dirt and hair and everything just right back in your mouth.
Absolutely no disrespect to Pena, but look, this has been a tough fight for him, and credit to him, by the way, still surviving. We still have 20 seconds left in the round in this fight. Hasn't been knocked out, hasn't been submitted so far, and kept fighting, man. I love to see that spirit.
Yeah, Isaiah Diggs teeing off now. And Pena looking like he's happy that he is teeing off and not backing up and asking him to stand back up. Pena Alamo exhausted after this fight, but good on him for staying in there, but that may have been 2 10-8 rounds for Isaiah Diggs in a row.
Look at our round 3 highlights.
And Isaiah Diggs was landing kind of at will, especially here at the end. Yeah, Pena Alamo just trying to minimize the damage that he took. Did a pretty good job of minimizing the damage, but took a ton of shots to the head there at the end in the third round. The second round took all those body shots for Hill, and then the third took a lot of shots to the head. I'm surprised he's able to stand up, but it's a good fight for him, good learning experience in his pro debut. Just letting you know how those 5-minute rounds feel.
Definitely a learning experience for Pena, for Isaiah Diggs as well. Making his professional debut. Somebody's going to get their first win. More than likely it will be Isaiah Diggs.
And his corner has that 1994 Dallas Cowboys hat on their Super Bowl days.
Last time they won anything.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's a good sign.
So after this decision, we will be going and getting ready for UFC Fight Pass for Fury FC 65. Robert Casper and Jose Ceja will go to our post-win bout. We'll explain that in a second, but let's get our official decision. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision brought to you by Blue Nola Transportation. With scores of 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26, your winner by unanimous decision, Isaiah Diggs. All right, that's going to bring
congratulations to Isaiah Diggs on his debut win. We will get Robert Casper and Jose Ceja on our swing bouts after our broadcast on UFC Fight Pass, so make sure you tune in for that one. We are getting ready now for Fury FC 65, Miller versus Weems. Congratulations to all the fighters who got the big W on our prelims. It is now time for Title Fight Sunday. Join us on UFC Fight Pass for Mo Miller taking on Joshua Weems, the American debut for Themba Gorimbo, and so many more great fights for you on this beautiful Sunday in New Orleans, Louisiana. Make sure you get on UFC Fight Pass for Fury FC 65. We will see you then. Big thank you to our entire team. I'm Rahil. He's Michael. Talk to you next time.